Hello my darlings and welcome to another build. Sorry for calling you darlings, I'm in a bit of an odd mood today I suppose. So you've seen me do the first dagger for a really lovely gentleman, and it went really well. I did a short on YouTube. It had loads of views, which I was very surprised at. Got a lot of really positive responses and comments from a lot of people, so thank you very much for that. I hope you have enjoyed the build video. There's only 3 parts, which is actually one of the shortest. That's one of the shortest amounts of build video that for parts that I've seen so far, which is a little bit odd. But I guess as it's just a dagger, there's not as much. Not as many parts maybe that have to go into it. Before I go any further guys, I've got to say, please give this a video a like. If you give it a like, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you don't like the content later on, you can unsubscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it takes no time, but it does mean that when these videos, like the build videos, come out, you will get a chance to see them, and you will get to see how I build the next up and coming project. So it is worthwhile. If you are interested in buying one of my lightsabers and you're wanting to get a bit of money off, get yourself to Patreon. I actually have a Patreon page where the videos, instead of being part 1 to part 2, part 3, it's just a full build video with no parts or anything like that. But you also get 10% discount on any kind of item I sell in the store. So for £3 a month to get that 10% discount, that's pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's if that's the kind of content you prefer, that's what you're going to get. I'm also going to try and get other things on there as well. So the plan for today, I've already built one dagger for the gentleman, and it was really nice. It had these really cool, sick guards type blades on it. It was really awesome. I'm going to go for another style, so this new one's going to be completely different. Now, I'm going to put some like ribs on this one, and I was explaining to him when we were chatting what I had in mind, and he seemed to be really happy with it. So I'm definitely going to go ahead with the idea that I've got. The only downside is it is going to be a huge amount of work to make these ribs. I was going over how many I should do, and originally I wanted them wrapping around the entire upper part of the emitter, and the amount of work it took to do those last guards made me realise that I may have been a slightly bit ambitious, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for 6. Now if I do 6, it should actually be a lot better. It will look really cool, and give you the same angle view all the way around, so that's really good. So I definitely want to do that. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of work. This time the last metal I used for the guards was 6 and a bit mil, just under 7 mil thick. These are 10 mil thick, so they're nearly double, and I've got 6 of them. And I don't know of any way to shape these easily, shall we say. These are going to be really hard to cut out. Honestly, I think I'm literally going to have to default to using this rasp file. If it's not a rasp file, you don't need to tell me in the comments. I always forget the name of this.
It's a pretty cool sidearm you got there. What is it?
I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life.
I'm sure it's a rasp file, but it's got these sick ass teeth on there, which does move a lot of material. They used to be a lot sharper, and now they're not. That could make my job harder. Yay! I thought about kind of sand these down. I may be able to sand them at the end. We have got the angle grinder, so more than likely I will be starting with the angle grinder just to try and move as much of the material as I can. So I think that's where we're going to start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get off. I'm then going to go to the bandsaw and cut out these pieces to length. Once they're cut to length, it will then be a case of putting on the templates and just really getting into it. So the last video, there's quite a lot of just stopping and talking. There might be me stopping and talking a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be as much because there's quite a lot to do, and it's a lot of labour intensive work. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Don't forget to like. Just thought I'd have a little pause. That took a bit of time. So we now have the ribs cut out. We have the ribs, all our holes for the rivets drilled in, which now means I get to go to the next stage, cutting out all that material. This is going to be a lot of work. Better get started. Oh, before I do, you may want to ask, or you may be thinking, why was it going up and down, up and down? If I just go straight down with that drill bit, then the hole will go off angle. Whereas, as you can see, the hole has stayed perfectly in line, centre to centre on both sides. If not, the hole would end up like up here or down here or somewhere else. So by going up and then down and up and down, it just allows that to stay. It allows it to stay directly, completely vertical, and give you the drill hole that you want. Just as if you wondered. Well, I think you can tell how warm I am by the bead of sweat dripping down my head. You may saw that part spring out then. I had a feeling I was going to do that, so I was prepared for it. I knew you must probably do something like that. There wasn't enough clamp on it. This is taking forever. That's about 10-15 minutes worth of work. I'm thinking I may need to go into the mill and have a go on there. So we'll move over to the mill and we'll have a go. If we do this on the mill, I might be able to do one or two of them. Then I have to let it rest for an hour because it gets so hot. Then do it that way. So this is definitely part one. Unless you're a Patreon, it's just one big video for you. But this is definitely part one. I've got a feeling this could be 3 or 4 parts, just down to the huge volume of work these are going to take. Let's get started, or carry on. think that's the end at the moment. I'm going to, I need to let that mill cool down. It is very hot, the motor. The battery is nearly out on the camera again, so I'm going to break for lunch because I've been at this since about 9 o'clock this morning. It's now, what time is it? It's now 1 o'clock. Just to show us, and so far we've got these two parts done on the mill, and as you can see, the profile down, but there's a lot to take off still, which I'll do by hand. We do have this one part which is basically done and nice and smooth. I'll use the buffing wheel on the angle grinder to smooth these off, and hopefully they should all be very, very close to profile, which would be great. So yeah, there is, if you may have noticed on this design, there's this little triangle. I might actually just do a square, put it on the mill and do a run by. It might be easier doing that rather than the triangle, which was a bit ambitious, to be honest. So that's 3 done, 1 basically completed, 2 profile down and hocked off, removed all the metal. We've got 3 left. It has been easier doing it on the mill, but because with the mill, because it's not a CNC machine, as in like the industrial big ones, it's a hand mill, everything has to be done by hand. You can only go at a certain speed, and you have to go basically quite slowly, which, you know, the speed that on here is in time, what your watch will be times 900. So yeah, I'm going to break for lunch, let that cool down. I'll be back in an hour, because it takes about an hour for it to cool down back to cool temperature, and we'll continue doing these ribs. I'm very ambitious with these things, aren't I? I should really think before going, yeah, I'll do this. It's a lot of work, but you don't realise how much work it is until you actually do it, and geez, it's a lot, guys. Anyway, see you after my lunch.